all entertainment. It's your boy PK, and this is 4GQTV and schedule time. I know, guys, we've been kind of on and off. Things happen. People have no power, internet, all that good stuff, and we can't do a show without our panels, without power, and without internet. So that's what happens. So um, what I got to say is I'm glad to be here. Look, we do have our absent Paul, but he will be back. He should have a be right back sign is what he should have. Um, but down below me we have the animated evil. Hey, animated evil, can you be animated for the crew out here? And man, thank you for coming through, man. You always one of our brightest people in the family, always willing to stay up late to join us. And you're like the cornerstone of the community. Everybody love you, man. It's like Santa Claus. Hey, man, what have you been playing this week, and what's going on with you, man?
So many nice words, PK. Thank you very much. Do you know what? I wish I could get a welcome like that every time I walk into a room. Yeah, I'm good, dude. Thank you very much. And of course, Paul will be back with us in a minute. But clowns, PK, glad to be here as usual. We've had some scheduling issues lately, haven't we? So it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on. It's been a little bit difficult. Work's been busy, so I'm gonna say I've not played a lot of games, PK. A few. But what I have been playing is I'm just trying to a beautiful game. A Euden Chronicles. I
Ah,
am
I played
around
that.
13 hours in. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. So I haven't had a lot of time to game. Work's been kicking my ass lately. Hence the sort of why I've not been around so much. But other than that, what else have I been playing? I've tried out that Turbo Golf game over the weekend. That's fun if you've never played that. If you've not
You
played
said
it, get some friends
Turbo
together and
Golf.
try it. Turbo
You
Golf,
said
yes. Yeah. That is it's like um, Rocket League, but you're playing on a golf course. It is absolutely fantastic. It's such a good game, dude. If you've not played it, try
I have
it. It's golf
not.
for cars. It's golf for cars. So we had a group of us playing that last Saturday, which is really.
How many
Other
people
than
can
that,
play?
yeah, trying. Well, it's a little bit strange. It's in beta. It's in Game Pass. You can play it for free, of course, if you've got Game Pass. We had a lobby of 6, but what happens then is it gives you 2 random multiplayer partners as well. So it's a lobby of 8. But there were 6 of us playing. It was frantic. We swear at each other. It's good fun.
Oh, so you made new friends. That's what you said.
No, no, dude, come on, don't be that guy.
Hey, no.
Other
So
than
you
that,
made new friends.
I've been trying to catch up to a bit of the backlog. I've got about 1,000 games to play, so when I finish work and I've got maybe an hour spare, it's been games like Deponia. I've mentioned this before on this show. It's very much the aesthetic is it's a point and click adventure, but it's funny as in very it's got like a very funny attitude towards it. It's a bit like Monkey Island attitude. So I've been trying to play them. So a little off key, but still old games I know, nothing new. But that's what I've been playing this week.
Yo, that's what's up, man. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, we all like story and narrative games. That always works. That's how you move. Sometimes you just gotta take your headset off and just kind of have me time. Um, so Mr. Sir Whoop Ass down in the corner over here, man. Mr. Clowns over here, aka Mr. Italian Boss. You know what I'm saying? The next boss in the next GTA Saints Row game. You know what I'm saying? What's
Wait,
going on
GTA
with you?
Saints Row game?
That's
Did I
right.
miss a merger acquisition? Because that would be a game that I would definitely play. I must have missed that.
No, you're supposed to star in it. You ain't playing. You the boss. You one of the boss mans in the game.
Nice. Well, everyone, thank you for coming out and listening to us. First of all, yeah, I'm letting PK host a little bit. Feeling a little tired. I spent all day in Tampa, a little exhausted. So PK took the reins. Plus, we're probably gonna have a power hour this year. eventually. So though it's safe that way. But playing, played a little bit of Cult of the Lamb. For me, it's a bit. It feels kind of off. Not 100% into it. Other than that, Two Point Camp has been playing that a lot. And then other than that, I just been kind of like looking for stuff to play. Kind of disappointed with not finding something to stick to. It's just in one of those gaming downturns, I guess you could say.
Mm. Well, not to worry because there is some sunshine on the horizon. I tell you. For me, yeah, I played that Cult of the Lamb. I thought the game mechanics was cool. I liked the little animation. Some of the suggested things are a little over the top. But outside of that, I think it's a pretty decent game. I haven't finished it. I'm about 3/4 through it. I have I've definitely I picked up a couple other games. I mean, it's been sales all crazy. I did get Spider Man on PC. I did get um what was that other game I got? Man, it's I got so many games I don't remember. Yo, I was playing Power Wash Simulator, and it's a game I had never played, or I played one simulator, but I just played it for the achievements, to be honest. But this one, I was just playing it. Yo, if it's like the most soothing game. I don't know. Anybody try it, man? It's crazy. It's like soothing. It's super relaxed, just spraying water on things and shooting soap. And yes, it is multiplayer. And yes, it is on Game Pass. And I also think it's cloud enabled. I'm not sure, but might be. So I do think you should check it out if you haven't. I always skip those because they don't look too exciting to me. But I was like, you know what? This one kind of caught my interest, so I'm gonna give the next one, which is the cooking simulator, a try. Because I mean, obviously, there are exciting games, and so people play them, so it must be something to it. You know what I mean? So it's not typically something I'd pick up, but hey, I tried it. Thanks to Game Pass, and it's dope. It's not bad.
You know, real quick, PK, I just want to give a shout out. So if you're watching this from VK Vercanti over in another country, you're watching on Facebook, you know what? Feel free to hop in the YouTube chat if you do have a YouTube account. It's always appreciated. And hit that like and share share it out and whatnot. So tell your friends that we're going live, whether it's on Facebook, Vercante, Good Game RU, wherever you are, let people know. And if you're coming here for the first time from seeing all the shorts from the Comic Cons, and maybe you're just lurking and watching us, I want to thank you very much for checking us out. We will continue to cover Comic Cons. And real quick, not to cut PK off, but our buddy Animated Evil is going to be going to EGX. So, if you are a person who goes to conventions and maybe you're in cosplay, video game cosplay, whatever, and you see Animated Evil, you can't miss him. He's that good looking guy over there, with the beard and everything. Go say hi to him. Go say hello.
Hang on, hang on.
what I you know what we need to do is just
Hang
make
on,
it a
hang on,
challenge.
hang on.
If
Because
if you
because
guys can tag a
you'll probably
4G
see me like this,
QTV,
right?
if you could tag a 4G QTV member in a
Yeah, see
selfie,
me like this.
we'll drop a code. Hey, we'll drop a code if you can tag a 4G QTV member in a selfie. You and that member in the selfie. You catch us out there in the wilderness, be like catching Pokemon. Get us. We
I
got
Well,
you.
now
I
you
do
just
intend to.
Hey, I
I own
think
a
that's a
4G
good. That's a,
QTV T-shirt event as well. One right.
hey, I think that's a good
So
challenge.
no,
I think that's a good challenge right there.
yeah,
Catch animated. Catch him like a Pokemon.
um
yeah,
animated, of
a 4G
course.
QTV T-shirt.
uh Timmy is in the chat, so now he's gonna be like, "Oh, I better go find animated outside EGX so PK give me a game code."
Hey, I got lots to give. Have at it. Let's see it. So that's the challenge. And I
There you go. You
challenge
say
it for any event that we are at. If you find us in Celsius, we got you. We got you.
Nice.
100.
and
So I
and
think that's
and
awesome.
and let's sweeten the deal a little bit. Let's sweeten the deal a little bit for anyone who's watching or into the fact. If you want tickets for the Saturday, DM me on Twitter. Yeah,
Nice.
I will give someone a ticket for EGX on the Saturday. I will
Ooh.
change your name and send it to you on DM. I will sort you out a ticket. One person.
Mm.
Wow.
I'm
That's
nice like
awesome.
that, right?
So that means if you're watching from
Yeah.
Facebook or anywhere else and you need to get in touch with Animated Evil, you can find him on Twitter. Animated, shout out your tag.
You can find me animated_on Twitter. My DMs are open, right? Just tell me you're going to EGX ticket for that day.
I can't top that.
Only the Saturday though,
That's dope.
because it's kind of because I've kind of already I've pre someone, so there you go, and whoever wants it.
Hey, look
Paul
at
paid for the
there.
ticket
Yeah,
and he came
so
back.
let's swing
Hey, look at
swing
there.
it. Let's swing
Our youngest party member just joined us.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
you probably wouldn't recognize him because he's got hair on his head and not the hat. But that's our youngest member right there.
That's right.
You know,
And the
it's
rumors that
Paul.
I'm going bald are totally false. Okay, just so
That's our cerebral Paul. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? The AKA Mr. P Paul Pizza Man,
yeah.
everything under the sun.
Uh,
He's our walking advertisement right
you
there.
should have heard
Let me-
it last night when we were talking to Carl. We were getting all kinds of new nicknames thrown at me. Yeah, so
Well, this is a family show. We can't say all those nicknames. But Paul, I'm glad you came back, man. Let me ask you, man. Like, hey, anybody watching, you guys gotta understand he's our celebrity in chief over here. So let me just say, thanks, Paul, for coming through, bro. Could you tell everyone what you've been checking out for the past week? You know, maybe pique their interest, something they ain't never seen.
oh, what have I been doing this past week? Oh, let's see. I'm not even sure what I've been playing this past week.
Oh,
Um,
there he go.
no, I'm serious. Hang on a second. Let me. Yeah. Well, yeah, I just did download Sir Whoop app
All
because we
right,
did.
all right. He gave you a
Yeah.
freebie. There you go.
Well, yeah, because I haven't started playing it yet. That game just dropped today on Steam, and we did interview the developers the other day, and that interview should be going live soon, Carlo. So,
It's live right now.
oh, is it live? Oh, okay, so the interview is live, so go check it out later. But
Later.
there are a couple of
Later,
fun
after
guys.
this.
Yes, after, but it was a development team of primarily two guys put this game together, and it looks incredible, and it looks like it's a lot of fun.
Is
Yeah.
it multiplayer?
No.
No.
Is a single player experience?
Yes.
Yeah, single player experience and a lot of humor.
Is it
In
is
other
it
words,
my
you
kind of
did-
game?
Yeah, you don't heal with healing potions. You heal by biting the head off of gnomes. Okay.
So killing Smurfs. Got it.
Yeah, basically. Basically, that's about it.
Sometimes you got so you playing Gargamel is what you're saying because he always want to eat the Smurfs. I don't
That's
know
right.
about nobody knew that. That's why he wanted to catch
Yeah. He wanted a little Smurf stew. That's it.
him.
But yeah, so, and I've been doing, oh, I know, I've been playing a lot of 2 Point Campus.
So you and Clowns both try that. What's that like? What kind of game is that?
It basically you're running a campus and you're having to keep the students happy, keep the staff happy, give them the buildings they need and stuff like that.
Whew,
It's like 2 Point
that.
Hospital.
That sounds like you'll never win that one.
I am on the I'm on the third campus. I don't know where Clowns is at, but I've opened up the third campus.
Because you know how hard it is to make anybody happy, boy. That's just
Yeah.
that sounds
They-
like a no-win situation there. You
Oh,
talking
and it's
about
definitely
kids
third campus.
sitting-
It gets a lot harder. They start going, "Hey, we're not going to pay our fees if we're not happy." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh man,
crap."
that is.
Oh yeah,
that's horrible, man.
we lost the animated one, didn't we? Yes.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Sometimes he be having programs. It's just like
Yep.
"Arr, arr, arr." but
It's
he'll be back. So while we waiting on him, let's just get into the topic. First topic at hand. So what was the first one we was talking about? Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring 16, was it 16 million
Yeah,
players
over 16 million sold.
sold? That's a milestone, right?
16.6 million, I believe it is. Yeah. So there's potential there that, I mean, with that amount sold, it could potentially make game of the year. I mean, that's a lot of people that seem to be interested in that game.
Right, right. And that's a good milestone. 16 million across the board is a
yeah.
big accomplishment. Most Japanese RPG or Japanese games in general um don't ship that many units, right? Um the biggest selling JRPG right now is probably Final Fantasy, was it 14?
Think
Because
so,
it's
yeah.
MMO. It's got like 50 35 million players monthly, active players monthly. So that's
I,
probably
I'd
the
be inter- I'd be interested to see what the player rate is, though, what the player retention rate is on those purchases. Because
That's a
remember,
good
it got all the
question.
hype when it first launched, but it was a lot harder than people thought it was going to be. So some people tried it and then put it down. That'd be an interesting number to see for me, just from a personal stake. You know,
well, I mean, it's still a win either way. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Paul, if I sold you some gum and you didn't like it, I still sold you some gum.
right. But where it comes into play is if they do another one and will they expect the same high numbers, or will they go, or a lot of people going to go, no, I tried it and I didn't like it, because Souls games aren't for everybody. It's like it just ain't
I,
there.
when it
Yeah,
comes down to it, it could be how it's marketed.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, I just
yeah.
um,
I mean, it's a big accomplishment, but yeah.
I think it's awesome. Hey, it's animated. He's back. Can you hear us? Can you hear us,
Yeah,
partner?
my apologies. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It looks like my issues aren't coming from the program I thought they're coming from. It looks like it's coming from Microsoft Edge itself. So I tried to close something and it closed everything. So I won't do that again. I apologize. There's something in the background in Edge that's really kicking my CPU's ass at the minute. I'll find out what it is, but I won't close that again. I apologize.
It sounds like
I tried. Yeah,
animated needs to hire Paul for a technical visit to come over.
yeah.
Paul's gonna ask you, have you turned your computer off and on?
Absolutely.
Several times today trying to work out what the problem was.
have,
I'm going to be
Have you
honest.
tried
have,
unplugging it
have you
and plugging it back in?
have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he's
Yeah,
gonna be like, "Did you
several
re-download
times in the
your
last hour.
Did you re-download
Yeah,
your Microsoft profile? Did you
Funny thing
re-download
is,
Edge?"
I have just rewatched all of the IT the IT the show
That British show?
yeah,
That British show? Yeah.
yeah,
The
yep,
IT
You
crowd,
would,
yeah,
Paul.
absolutely. It's
the
brilliant.
IT crowd.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. But it does seem something's piggybacking on my Edge browser that is absolutely killing my internet. So that I will work it out. I'll do that tomorrow. I won't try and close it on stream again.
You got to
Apologies.
stop picking up the malware off of those special sites, man. It's
Well,
you know.
I don't visit special sites on this PC. I've got a separate laptop for the separate sites, right?
Oh,
Be fair.
okay.
It's
Wait,
something I can burn really quickly.
well, there is a
You don't
there
seem to
is a
have internet problems with that PC.
It's a niche. Do you know what? When you've got a niche taste, you've got to go with it, right?
yeah. No, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there's a browser called Brave Browser. It's basically almost like a Firefox, but without all the extra stuff added in, and it's open source and it's privacy focused, so it stops all the unnecessary cookies and everything else, and it's very low in resources. So that could be an option depending
is-
on your
Yeah.
PC.
That's
Yeah,
that's what I
absolutely.
recommended to clowns a while ago. But I also recommend to change your search engine as well. So you do a combination. But we're not trying to get too technical.
Yeah,
But
no, I
we'll,
like
we'll,
I
we'll-
like it. I like Google because they track every click I take.
You see, I use Bing for everything because I
Yep.
get Microsoft points.
It's all
Yes,
right.
that's a good
Well,
point. Yeah.
well, we'll get to the bottom of it. But what we was asking about why you when you came in is about
I'm
this
sorry.
how impressed you were about this Elden Ring making 16 million milestone.
How impressed I was. Do you know what? I can't. Well, do you know that's impressive for any game, right? I've not played it. That, that was the game I said on this show that will probably get me to play a Dark Souls game. Never played it. It came out, but I've never paid for it. I just thought, do you know what? I can't consciously, consciously, yes, got it right. Buy another game when I've got 800 and something to play. It's just I can't bring myself to buy a new game. I can't do it. There was a question, right? There was a question.
Well,
Yeah.
if it makes you feel better now, it's not new. So,
Well, still.
So
Okay, so
go ahead.
there was this question within the console
yeah,
conversations and the
yeah.
question was who plays old games? I'll tell you who plays old games. This guy. He's got tons and he's pointing at himself. There you go. This guy plays old games. So I've not bought anything for an absolute
Well,
age because
well,
if I keep
it's
buying games,
All right, all
if I
right, all
keep
right. But are
buying
you
games,
impressed with the 16 million number?
of course I said I was. Yeah, that's amazing for any game to hit
well,
16 million. It's absolutely
well,
fantastic.
well, animated. You're saying you play old games, but it's new to you, so technically it's
See,
new.
there you
Abs-
go.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
My library is full of new to me games.
yeah, that's exactly how it is. So, one man's trash, somebody else's treasure. You know what I'm saying? So,
But
definitely
let,
enjoy it.
let's be honest though, right? Joking aside and my backlog aside, 16 million in the time that's been out is an impressive number. It really does. And I think the main reason it got that was because of how much hype it got from the gaming community.
There you go. The marketing,
That's
word of mouth, et cetera, et cetera.
absolutely. It made me think. Well, even when it was sort of advertised, I was thinking, this might be the game to convince me to play. Looks good. The premise sounds good, and written by a great author, right? I've just never taken the plunge. It's the same as Cyberpunk. I really need to take the plunge on that as well. I've not played that as well. So
Wait. So you haven't even started Cyberpunk? Okay, now we're talking 2 years
I,
in the
I
past
I've
year.
never well, when
Yeah,
Cyberpunk launched.
don't take none of his criticism. You don't pay him Paul no attention. Let me
No,
tell
but
you
when
something. Go
go on.
ahead. Go ahead. No,
I
no.
was I
Finish
was
your
going to
thought.
say when Cyberpunk launched, right? I was still struggling with the Xbox Day One Edition
Yeah, you had the
2013
toaster,
Xbox, right? I had the toaster oven, right, of
See,
the VCR Xbox.
and Paul has no empathy for you. He's just ripping.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
That's
not. But
right.
now I'm in the next gen. It's just a case of I'll buy it when the next gen version comes out. And then there's this to play, and then there's this to play, and then I'll buy it after I play this. I'll buy it after I play this. It's on sale. Shall I buy it? Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy it after I play this. It's on the list. It's gonna go on the backlog. I'm gonna play it. The same as Elden Ring. I really, really, really do want to play it, but only because of all my friends have played it and said it's amazing. And 16 million in that space of time,
Okay,
superb.
you have one friend who can't call it amazing. I can call it beautiful. I can call it very good, but I can't call it.
I
So,
know.
Yeah.
Different
it's very
reasons, though.
hard.
Different
It's very
reasons.
he's a hard reviewer. Paul don't give no credit to nobody.
Yes,
You
he
know what I
gives no
mean?
No,
props.
I can't fully review the game because I can't play the game. I mean, let's be honest. I'm honest that way. And it's not because of the game. It's because of my limitations and their lack of accessibility. So it is partially their fault. So there you go. So
See, he just went ahead and shifted already. Hey, listen, I would just put it out here. Uh, a Japanese game pushing that many units in this amount of time is pretty impressive because they don't do that, right?
yeah, yeah.
What's also kind of hinted is also that because I haven't played this game, I had no interest in playing this game, and it's not because I felt like it's a bad game. I just don't like Souls or not Soul like the what is the genre called again? Um,
Uh, well,
uh,
Souls like it's
Souls like.
Souls
not
like
Souls
it's
like. It's not Souls like, it's roguelike. So I play a lot
Oh,
of
rogue. Yeah,
roguelike.
rogue. Oh, yeah, roguelike.
I
Yeah.
got a lot of roguelike games. I play a lot of those, but I just typically don't like their style of game. I don't like the combat. I just don't
Yeah.
like it. It's to me. However, if this rumor of some screenshots that was floating around of it potentially coming to Game Pass is true, I might give that a shot. If
That's
that
what Game
happens.
Pass is for. That's what Game Pass is for
So
me. Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. So that just to reflect back at you, if it come to Game Pass, well, what does that look like? Is that what I'm saying? You saying you still not gonna give it a shot? You saying non accessibility? Come on, man.
No,
You've been playing.
I own the game. I was given a code for the game. I own the game. I have tried to play it for about 30 hours. I can't get very far into it. So, and it's not because of I know somebody changed my name. I just saw that. Carlo, yeah, never mind.
Yes.
Uh, um, but no, I have tried to play it, and I no matter how high the level is, I can't get past any of the even the minor bosses. So after a while, it becomes no fun for me. I know a lot of people have played through it like 4 or 5 times, and whatever. It's great. It's just because of my limitations plus their lack of accessibility makes it impossible for me to move forward in the game.
So I would just say this: we just may establish that Poppy Seed Pumpkin Pie Spice Pineapple Paul says it needs to be a law that accessibility is a default requirement for every game going forward, and
It
I'm
shouldn't
all
be.
for that.
Yeah,
I'm all
doesn't
for that.
necessarily shouldn't necessarily be a law, but it should be a standard to reach
It could
for.
be a law. We us game.
Exactly.
Come on, we have unspoken laws in gaming. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Like
Well,
we
isn't I thought some type of law for accessibility in games did pass, but I don't know which portion of accessibility affects, whether it's color blindness or something else. But I think there was something that passed that all devs
Yeah.
have to include in their games if it's released in America. I'll have to look into that, but I think there is something.
that I mean, all jokes aside, man, I do believe that accessibility should be a thing, especially if we're pushing other kind of things. Um, Inclusion means accessibility.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so that should
Yep.
be that in my mind that should be a priority. But yeah, so with the Game Pass rumor, however, what does that make you feel there, clowns? Would you I don't know if you played Elden Rings, but would how would that make you more inclined to try it out, or
No, I mean, you know,
Flat out.
I
Not even thought about it. No.
yeah, no, it's those. Listen, okay, I played Elden Rings, and the game is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's environment is beautiful. You can speed run it past most of the bosses, and I mean, there's people that beat it without any difficulty. I am not one of those people. I am one of the people that play that game, say a few words, and shut the game off. That's the kind of person I am. So, if it comes into Game Pass, though, it's great for, always the opportunity for anybody to try it out. It's always a great thing. But not for me. But I'm happy for anybody else who might enjoy it.
so
I believe in love, peace, and game harmony.
so clowns is a definitely double thumbs down. Uh, Animated, how do you feel about a Game Pass entry? Would that be more inclined to move it up your little bucket list?
Absolutely, because I'm sure I've got friends out there that love it, and it's you can play it co-op, so they can bolster me through the game and tell me what to do, what not to do, that kind of thing. That'd be cool. Really would be cool. Like I said, the only reason I've not bought it is because I have no reason to buy anything right now. I'm struggling because of just because of how
Oh, it's Game Pass.
the reason well, it's not so much Game Pass. It's the reason I've got so many games is that me and the guy that I game share with, as every time something goes in sale that we think we might play that in the future, we've bought. So we'll take it in turns, and everything that's gone in sale for the last few years. And when you look at your full game list, right? It says all owned games 857. It's like, oh my god. And I've removed from the list anything I've completed. And then you've got you can go into Game Pass that says 100 plus. That doesn't include 157 if I've not bought it. And then you've got the games with gold I've owned for years that I've never played. And then you've got the EA Sports sort of list as well. It's if you've got a library of over 1,000 games, it's difficult to decide what am I going to play next. Unfortunately, right? So it's a case of do we buy something, or do we decide to play something together? Do this, do that, do the other. There's
Hey,
so
our
many games I've not completed that I should have.
I say our
When it gets
numero
into
uno
when it
fan chimed in there. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was answering you, but they chimed in on there. You can see that there
yeah,
animated.
when your backlog comes in at four figures, at 1,000 plus, you have an issue, right? You have a spending issue. So we've decided between us we're not going to buy anything for a little bit until we get that backlog down. But if it's in
We
Game
decided.
Pass, we decided. Yeah, we decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, I'm sorry. For me, there are just some big release games that I want to get it near release because I want to be able to discuss it actively with people that are actively playing it. So, and I'm the same way with movies and TV shows too. I don't get people who can put off for like 3 years watching some show that's been a big deal. Everybody's talking about, and then they wait for 3 years to watch it. Then they want to talk about it. I'm like, that was so 24, 27 months ago, dude.
Li-
That's what.
Listen, we don't have as much spice, poppy seed, pumpkin, pineapple, Paul. Not everybody got that. I'm just,
Ah,
so we don't have that spice. Hey, but that's a good thing. And by the way, everyone watching, as much as animated complains about having too many games to play, he's also showing off with his background. I got too
yeah.
many.
Oh, they're all books. They're all books, dude. I do read as well.
Okay.
And as you can see, I'm a massive fan of Borderlands. Check out the Borderlands map behind me. That's cool, right? It's actually full size as well. If you want me to put it on, I can put it on. Fine.
Also,
Hey, have at
you
it.
know, I want to say something. So there's a lot of people watching right now, right? I know there's not a lot of people talking, but a lot of you could be on Facebook or Verkante, Good Game RU, wherever you are, on all the services we're at. If you could take a moment and share this out to everybody you know, doesn't matter what country. We appreciate everybody. Even if you can't understand me and you type in the chat and I can't understand you, I'm okay with that. Just want to thank you for watching us. Appreciate it. But if you have a YouTube account, hit that like button. It's always, always appreciated. Yes,
Let me
Fastback.
let
Thank you.
me let's do a poll. Let's do a poll, clowns. Everyone watching, I want to know, do you like Poppy Seed Pumpkin Paul's brand new name? And if we
Uh-uh.
get more likes, that is going to be a stay. That's what I
Uh-uh.
like. That's what I want. I want some the viewers to interact and let us know how they like his new name. That's what I like.
Carl's gonna get some hate mail from me.
Hey, it's okay. It's all nothing but love at the end of the day. It's nothing but love at the end of the day. Hey, look, I like it, man. I think it gives you, your eyes gleaming.
Yeah,
And
it's too long to fit on the back of an Xbox jersey though. So
hey, man, it is what it is. Some people like, big old bandwagon posters, and we gonna do that all day. So check this out. Um, so I don't know if you guys are aware. I mean, there's some things I wasn't aware, but did you guys know who Embracer Group is, right? Embracer Group.
I
I do.
think I've
I'm one
heard
of the
of
ones who
something
broke
along
the.
those lines.
So,
Mm,
whenever Microsoft purchases a company, all of a sudden, they get a lot of scrutiny about being a monopoly. But the biggest publisher owner is Embracer Group. Matter of fact, they own more than just games, they IPs and everything under the sun. And basically, they just had another acquisition, and I don't know how I feel about that. So actually, I want to clowns is this is clowns topic. I really want to hear his thought on how he feel about Embracer Group just scooping up everything, all the air. We ain't even got air to breathe. They about to put a price tag on that. You just
Well, okay, so Embracer Group, right? You know, it's sad but true. I have a place in my heart for Embracer Group because I like THQ. And they kind of saved THQ, and we still have Saints Row today and Deep Silver. And, so Embracer Group, thank you very much, for your kindness and doing that for us gamers. However, I
Thank you for
am a little
breakfast.
concerned about their over ambition. I think they're overly ambitious, and they know that there's not a lot of people maybe watching their movements, so they can go ahead and start acquisition time again. I mean, like, they should just be called the Acquisition Brothers at this point. They should take the
didn't
title
they
from Jeepers and I, because they just want to buy everything. Lord of the Rings, Embracer Group. You know what I mean? Like,
Tomb
ah,
Raider.
Tomb Raider, limited run games, Embracer Group. And not saying it's a bad thing. I hope that no jobs are shuffled around. My biggest concern is always for the employees at companies, and I hope they retain their jobs and whatever they're doing. Because when it comes to duplicate jobs and mergers and acquisitions, usually there's a little bit of restructuring, and that's my biggest concern. But they are becoming a powerhouse, um, and there is in like literally no, it feels like there's no oversight on them, right? Like it feels like there's no oversight on Embracer Group, and everybody wants to put the oversight on other companies, and I kind of don't think that's 100% fair. I honestly, I'm not here trying to defend people versus companies, etc., etc. Don't take it that way. I'm just saying it just seems like that Embracer and Tencent just can do whatever they want, and everybody's like, "Oh, those guys? I don't know much about them. It's okay." That's how I feel.
I
it,
think
it,
that's going to change though with this set of acquisitions. That may change because this was like 5 or 6 companies, I think, or five or
what do you mean by
so
that, Paul?
what do you mean? What do I mean by that? I
I'm,
mean
I'm trying.
that's
Go
enough to
ahead.
get somebody to at some point they're going to grow large enough that somebody's going to start to say, hey, we need to keep an eye on this, and then they're going to be in the same boat that some of these other companies are, where the FTC is going to be looking at them and making sure, that they're not, taking too much, you know.
Is not. I mean, but they are the largest publisher, gaming publisher, isn't it? I'm pretty sure
But
they
right
own
now,
more.
they're up to this point. They've been primarily the Embracer Group is primarily an investment group. Yes, and now what they've opened up another wing for what is it for basically that they shoved the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings into for um
Yep.
bringing older games up to the present. So far, I think they're a lot like Tencent. That they're more of an investment group, and they kind of let each company do their own thing. Like they let THQ pretty much run their own show. THQ can in fact acquire things as they want outside of Embracer Group. It becomes part of Embracer Group, but Embracer Group doesn't isn't day to day hands on with THQ going, no, you can't, yes, you can. They let THQ run their own show. I just read that today. That's why I know that.
It's
So
almost like they're the boogeymans in the closet because they go under the radar because they don't
right,
officially get advertised as a
correct,
gaming entity, right? So
right.
maybe that's what it is, right? They kind of because like when rappers do movies, they retain their rap name most of the time because that's the
Yeah,
recognition of the brand. Maybe
right.
that's what it is, right? What do
Same with Dwayne the Rock Johnson for a while, for the
right?
longest time. That's how he was credited. You
Right.
know,
What about you, animated? What you think? What's your thoughts on that?
See, for me, Embrace has just flown under the radar, right? And then just for there's many reasons I've done this. Um, Embracer was originally THQ and Nordic Games, I think, something like that.
Well,
Nordic Games.
THQ Nordic was the actual name of the.
Well, yes. So that's where it became the Embracer Group. Right. Okay. Well, so
Well, that's because they had an
some
issue with a 4chan thing or an 8chan thing that they
Well,
did.
they filed bankruptcy, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
look,
Okay.
go ahead,
So what
anime. Sorry.
the interesting thing what they've done is they've sort of snuck under the radar, and they've picked up this little thing, and this little thing, and this little thing, and they've not done anything massive. And they, even though they own pretty much everything, right? They didn't spend a lot of money, and they're not worth the most money in the gaming space or within that kind of entertainment space. Looking at it now, they're worth a piddly. Do you know what? 10.6 billion. Ah, piddly compared to Microsoft, right? And you're only in the mix. And 10.6 billion is a lot. However, they keep picking up these amazing deals for next to nothing. And if you look at what they own, they've got everything. It reminds me of is sort of a pigeon taking its on bit by bit and all becoming the biggest pigeon. That's what it reminds me of. And then this big pigeon's going on and go, look what we've got. And now that they own this whole bonds and thing, that must be worth an absolute bloody fortune, right? So the income off like the Lord of the Rings, and I don't think this is their last move. They're sneaking in the shadows.
There's one part of the acquisition today that has been undisclosed that we don't have a name for and we don't have a price for.
Well,
I got breaking news. Breaking
well,
news.
wait. Before you do breaking news, I just want to
Is the
say,
fat pigeon getting
It's,
fat?
it's about Embracer Group, their new
Wait.
acquisition.
wait. Before we do
Yeah.
that, before we transition, I just want to point out that Paul's name has been evolving the entire show, and I just want
the
everyone to
entire
point.
chat.
I just want people to point it out, and please tell us that you like it because I love it. I think we should stick with that, and we should make him a new logo with that on there.
I don't know how Graphic God's gonna get that all on the single logo, but
we gonna get it done. We gonna get it done. Go ahead, Klaus.
There's a little bit of room left for it, though. There is a little
Yeah,
bit of room left.
maybe
Just a
candy
smidge.
popcorn. We can add popcorn into that too.
yeah.
Candy popcorn. Yeah, there we go. I mean, maybe we can fill up the whole line by the end of the show somehow.
Oh, jeez.
So
Wow.
the breaking news is that it will be a full circle. Breaking news is that Embracer Group has entered into an agreement to acquire Tripwire Interactive. Tripwire has been known for the Kill and Floor series with over 35 million players, Rise and Storm series with over 14 million players, Maneater with over 16 million players, and it continues to be a major growth area that is strong with other various developers. They also launched Chivalry. I can't pronounce it. Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 2, which has sold over 2 million units.
Well, if you would have read what I sent you earlier, that was not breaking news. That broke early this morning. But you go with that. You go.
Yeah, I'm breaking it now.
Okay,
So it's
okay,
breaking news.
Okay, hold on. Clowns, give me 1 second. Let's give Paul the credit. Thank you, Paul. Now you can continue there, Clowns.
Thank you, Paul.
So they're located in Roswell, Georgia. 113 employees, and also Aspire 2 VR and Deceive Incorporated as well. So, I think that's a pretty big deal.
Yep. And if you've never played Maneater, you're missing out. Maneater is a lot on.
That is one of my favorite games that I never would have played if it wasn't for Game Pass. So I'm gonna tell you, I bought that game, and
I bought it day one.
and the DLC just for playing on Game Pass. I'm telling you, that game is dope. And if they can chunk out those kind of fun games that are just ridiculous but fun to play, I'm all about it 100%. One of those games the animator says he's got too much. He's too bougie to play because he's got too many other games. But hey, Hey, but it's all worth it. Hey, that is a huge deal, though. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's kind of like the muscle. They're muscling in, but they're not getting the attention because they don't have that. Um, what is it? The name brand recognition of a gaming company,
I'm
rather.
trying to think. I don't think any of their games, like even the THQ Nordic stuff, doesn't say an Embracer Group, company. It
Nope.
never you never see
Nope.
Embracer's branding on their stuff.
Yeah,
So
it's like
they
they finessing
They
the system
Well,
out there.
isn't
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, I'm
working.
gonna
They're
look this
working
up,
in the
but
background, right? They're
yeah
working. Sorry, clowns. They're working in the background, and they don't have that whole mind share of, guess who's doing this, people? Because
yeah
they're doing it in the background, doing it in the shadows, and that's the kind of thing I'm
They,
try to bring up. They're
yeah,
doing it little bits, little bits, and it's massive. The same way as Tencent have the same ethos. We don't know what Tencent own. That's massive what they own. And that's exactly what Embracer are doing. They're not worth that much, but they will be. And that's
hey,
their
listen.
goal
they're
to take over, right?
Well, the difference between Tencent and Embracer Group is Tencent just invest. They don't own. I don't
Right.
even think they allowed to be owning stuff. So Embracer is different. They're just like a big old whale, and anything falling in their mouth, they're golfing up.
yep.
But but you make a point. Like, this is what I'm saying. Is the same is what anime is talking about. Is they are doing it by allowing the gaming companies they scoop up to take all of the advertising credit. Like, you don't see their name attached to uh, this industry. That's why nobody knows who it is, right? You don't know what it is because their name ain't attached. It's not like even Google's name is attached to some gaming at Apple's name is attached to gaming. Like, you don't see Embracer Group attached to anything. I mean, hell, even Amazon, is their launch games, but they have an attachment to gaming. I think that might be the biggest concern because since no one's paying them attention, it's kind of like they're hidden in plain sight. They're getting away with things that other companies getting scrutinized for.
I do have a point about something though. How long has Microsoft been trying to do this kind of thing? A lot of years, right? Since the 80s. Been going at it, right?
Let's ask Paul. How long have you been going at it, Paul? He's like, I know.
Well, no, their gaming side only primarily, the last
No,
20
no,
years or
just
so,
well,
actually.
not
But,
not so much, not so much gaming as this company that's been trying to take over the world, trying to be $1 trillion company, that kind of thing.
well, they've
That's
been
been
doing
doing it
that
along.
forever since they've been doing that since they launched. I mean, if you
Okay, so keep that in mind, right? Sony the same. Sony since they launched been trying to do this for a lot of years. You've got to remind yourself, okay, that the Embracer Group have only been going 11 years. So they were founded in 2011 and they're already worth 10.6 billion.
wow.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
that's the moves they're making right now. And the CEO of the group is still the same guy. He's still the CEO. I don't remember his name, but they've only been going 11 years.
that's
So
interesting.
but they came out of gaming, so they came out with the background already in the industry. All of
But
them did. So.
fine,
but still,
fine,
like
but
Animated makes a great point here. He basically what other companies have been trying to achieve for, let's say, since the 80s or the 90s, Embracer Group's done it within a matter of
11
uh,
years.
11 years. So they're rapidly expanding and they own more than Sony and Xbox essentially at this point.
Well, they're bigger than and well, actually, second biggest is actually Ubisoft. So they're bigger than Ubisoft, which
That's that's crazy because not only that, but it's a lot of people don't may not know this, but they're a Swedish group as well. So
A lot of it is you look at it. A lot of it's because what they bought when they bought it was not really on anybody's radar. You know,
I
And
mean,
that's what
just
I'm. And
because you
that's what I
bought
was trying to say. The big pigeon trying to get just the little pigeon trying to get the big things for cheap.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're trying to pick up, these little things cheap and going, do you know what? That's going to be worth a lot of money soon. And that's what
Right.
they're doing. They're picking it up cheap.
I
And
mean, that's a good bet.
it's making a lot of money.
That's
Yeah.
a good bet. However, it still might be a little concern in the end, right? Um,
Well, they still go through the same process as all the other big companies, though. Too. They still go through the Federal Trade Commission for the
Yeah,
EU
absolutely.
and for all
Absolutely.
that
yeah,
stuff,
but you
and for
don't you
us.
don't see them going to Congress trying to explain their way out of buying stuff.
No, because nobody's fighting them right now. But
Right.
Because,
they still go through the same investigative process. And if the FTC comes out and says, "Yeah, we don't see a problem here,"
Well, I guess it remains to be seen. We'll see what happens,
yeah,
right? We'll see once all the little everybody's bought up and there's only like four left. We'll see what happens. I,
and you know what, that may happen. It would be the first industry that's happened to, and it won't be the last.
hey, well, it is what it
so
is.
I have to ask, I have to highlight the comment there that Fastback, OG NLG, hi dude, love you loads. He said, better Embracer or Tencent. What do you think, guys?
Well,
Who
like
would
I
you
said,
rather?
Tencent don't own anything; they just invest.
Yeah, Tencent invest percentages. They buy,
Okay.
So, with that being said, man, I think is since we're talking about these kind of business things, um,
Okay. Numero uno X fan. That is scarier than anything I've ever heard
yeah,
before. That is scary. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. That's a little scary for me.
It
well,
would never happen, but still.
I would say
yeah,
it's scary, not in the way the clowns suggest. It's scary just to have one of those companies that's got their hands into everything purchased by another company. That's always scary
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that they got access to trade secrets. You know what I'm saying? Um, but speaking of that, clowns brought up something that there was a new patent that came out by a company to block. Was it what was it specifically? Block your ability to stream game or show games or single player element games, which can translate into you can't even do game guides for if it's a PlayStation game.
Yes.
Oh, sorry,
So
said that.
Sony patented something, um, and it looks like it's picking up steam now. It looks like initially they started the filing of the patent back in 2019, but people, no, I'm sorry, 2018, and it looks like it's been amended and it's on the U.S. Trade Patented Office site for the government as well. And basically, there's a lot of verbiage in here, and it's quite confusing. But what it sounds like is that they want to create an architecture to prevent users from spoiling games. If you're playing cross-platform, they don't want certain cutscenes maybe shown to the other person playing with you. They don't want you to be able to. I mean, there's even stuff in here that talks about making user guides on the internet and blocking that kind of stuff as well. They don't want any type of spoilers. It's just, what's really scary about this is that it's very far reaching. It's a very far reaching thing that it sounds like Sony wants to do. And it could probably also prevent people from recording
Streaming.
cinematics or streaming. It could prevent that. It could prevent proper reviews from the media. I mean, there's a lot of things that this could possibly do, and I hope that none of it uh, happens because it's wow, it's just scary. Let me say that. And there's a lot of words in it. It's probably like, I don't know, a couple long pages worth of words. It talks about HTML, talks about scripting languages, even Adobe Flash is mentioned in here. all the assemblers for different video games, like Unity and all that. It's all mentioned in here. They even
So,
have diagrams of a 600 computer network. Like, what? What? I don't know. It's just scary.
that sounds like a lot, and but at the same time, it sounds like a huge shift. And uh, the company that says the players first, and you know,
Yeah, not exactly consumer friendly on that end. No,
so go ahead, since you started the convo here, there, Paul. What is your input on this particular patent that might change the way your name is portrayed on the screen?
one, I don't know that they could actually get it to function as well as they might think without totally breaking a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I could see it become a major pain in the butt for everybody involved. You know, from streamers to heck, just me trying to play my game and something glitches and all of a sudden I can't see the cutscene myself. It's like, really? I can't see this going. I can't. No, I just, and like I said, it's not exactly consumer friendly and not a great way to get, you know, a lot of the reason any of us play games is because what we've seen online or what a friend has shown us. You're gonna take all that away. Then I'm gonna have like no interest in a lot of games if I can't see what the play style is like or anything like that. If you have to buy it to see it. Well, screw you. Then I'm not gonna buy it. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically it's what it's gonna come down to.
Well, I mean,
You know,
Paul, do you got a PS5?
what's that?
Do you got a PS5
Yeah. There's
or a
well, it's my
PS4
roommate's, but
or
it's in.
whatever?
No, it's in. I had a PS3. There's a PS5 in the other room that I played on. So
Did Have you seen the feature that they showed where the guide will pop up while you're playing a game or whatever on the side?
no.
Okay. Well, I'll circle back to that in a minute.
Okay.
And
So, I'm just gonna bring some stuff up before Anime gets to this too, so he can maybe understand this a little better. So, under between notes 14 through 18, they want to include hidden metadata on the objects on screen, plus a marked print as well, so it could be determined which gamer or user
No.
is spreading the information. They also want the rights to remove, let's say you take a screenshot, they want to be able to remove the objects in that screenshot from being posted anywhere on the internet, so you can't make a guide. Like, let's say you find a hidden skull, right? And you take a screenshot, they want to be able to remove the skull from that screenshot with this patent.
No, 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 no. By the way, this just won't be PS issued because remember they're doing their PC launcher too, so it's gonna.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul. I
It'll
didn't
be
even think
across the
about
board,
that.
right?
well, I know that's why they made those requirements before, because those people were great to do PC ports and whatnot. They probably help with their launcher. Um, I have trouble with that though. But um, before I get to this man just turned off his animated. You there? 1 2 1 2. He'll be
He
back.
just shut off his camera for
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm still here. I'm still here. It's fine.
All right, cool. So I wanted to pick your brain, and because you always have that other side of the, because you always inspirational. You're not as cynical as the rest of us. So could you tell us, what does that sound like to you, or how can you envision that?
Do you know what this? To me, this is just an extension of what we've already got. Because if you jump onto a game on, let's go with. There's a game on Xbox that's really really good. I streamed it for a little bit. However, because it's got licensed music in it, it goes, no, you can no longer stream this game, right? Imagine that to the nth level. Oh, this has got licensed images. You cannot stream this game. This has got a licensed photo. You can. this game. It's I get the music, right? Because it's owned by somebody, images and things like that. In a game, it should be streamable. Twitch does that right now on
Does
Xbox.
does that mean you truly
Right?
don't own the game and they got the right to just block whatever?
Well, we don't these days. Even if you buy a physical copy, you don't own the game because if they decide to say that's no longer licensed, that's done. Look at Forza Horizon, not Forza Horizon. Look at Forza
But
7.
but you but you
No,
made
we can
a
still play it though. If we all
right.
previously owned it, we can still
So
play it.
so what you're saying, what you made
But
the point is,
yeah,
if you purchase the license, you technically own the right to play the game and see whatever's in it, right?
agreed, agreed. That should be. So you're saying that I shouldn't be able to see something if I've got the game? Is that what you're
No, I'm
saying?
saying that
Or you
I'm
were talking
saying
about?
No,
I'm saying
I
that
was
you should be able to share, see, and use
yeah.
the game as intended as much as you please because you purchase an unlimited license to to the content.
no
I think
because
this new law, this new copyright would step all over fair use. I think they would have some really legal issues with fair use
Or
if
do you
they.
think
agreed,
it's
agreed.
or do you think it's similar
But
to how go ahead?
I think it stemmed from the the way the music's gone. You no longer pay for this license. You can you no. There's no chance, right?
No,
When
but in those games that have that music, you now have the streaming mode, which puts in funky ass bad music or whatever,
agreed,
or removes it
agreed.
altogether. You know that's not what this copyright. That's not what this thing says. This thing says not only will we
But
be able to remove the images and remove whatever we want, we're going to be able to tell that you're the one who put it out there. I have an issue with that. I have a big issue
but
with that.
but okay. So let's focus on the game that I'm talking about, which is the Artful Escape. Right? Have you ever played that? The side
Oh yeah,
scroll with the music, the guitar and stuff, right? Okay. So I successfully when it launched, I had the game, I bought the game, paid for it. I successfully did the first hour on Twitch. Not a problem. Yeah. I go to do a bit longer. I go to Twitch and Xbox. This says, guess what? You can't fucking stream this anymore. Nope, not having it. I've still got the video of the first hour, right, which was fine. So, what happened there? Why could I stream the first hour, but then all of a sudden, I was no longer to stream it?
is that
It's
streaming
exactly the
directly
same
from your
thing.
Xbox? That's
Yeah,
different
yeah,
because
yeah, absolutely,
I
absolutely.
don't
Straight
get
from
that
the
issue when
Xbox
I
to
stream
Twitch.
through OBS. Yeah,
Well, you won't, fair enough. But if you stream that to YouTube, I'm sure you're going to get a strike, a copyright strike, right?
maybe,
And
maybe not. I don't know.
that's
Yeah.
what they're going to try and pick up. Now, I should have the choice to stream that because guess what? I've bought the game. I've paid, let's say, $20 for this game. However, I've streamed an hour. I've gone back into it, and my streaming program has gone, nah, fuck you. You're not streaming this, dickhead. That's basically what it said. And no, it's not good. It's not. It's not a good thing. If they start music, I get right because it's music is owned property, the artists. But if you start bringing that into the game ethos, saying this image, this person, this character can't be displayed, where does it stop? Where does it stop?
So
I will say
I
that
go
real
ahead.
quick because this actually plays into what I mentioned earlier. I told you I got
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
code for
Yep.
Digimon. They have asked us
You
not to
keep on
stream
throwing that in
anything.
front of my face, huh? You gonna keep doing that?
they
Huh?
they have asked us as part of the condition for streaming that is that we cannot show anything beyond chapter 4 because they don't want to before a certain date because they don't want us to spoil it for other people. So
But
they've asked us not.
that's a different
That's
agreement
fine.
though.
That's
Yeah,
just an
but
embargo
that's
because
interesting that they've asked us to do that. That's
no,
So I
that's
want
just
to
an embargo to get people to buy it. That's all that is. It's an embargo.
right.
That's
so
different to saying you can only. That's different to saying you can only show chapter 4, and then that's it. Fuck off. Nobody else
Yeah.
can see that
Well,
ever.
until a
That's
certain
that's
date,
that's
until a certain date,
yeah.
until a certain
A
date.
date is fine. A date is fine.
Yeah.
But to say you can never show that ever, 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 ever is
Yeah.
wrong.
I'm ignoring the evolution of my game of my
No,
name.
no,
I'm
no. We're
totally
not going.
ignoring.
We're not going to. We're going to celebrate it. It's getting better. It's getting better. Hey, listen. I wanted to say I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? Because we have subscriptions to like Netflix or HBO Max or Hulu or Disney Plus and things like that. However, if you was to share that, like stream it and try to share it, DRM would either black out the picture or black out the audio, right?
Right.
They will do everything they can to ensure that you cannot play these movies. It could be a physical movie; it'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, isn't that the same mythology? Just to ensure that if you're paying for this content, that you stay within the bounds of whatever their desired bounds are. I
Yes,
But
mean,
like I say,
yes.
if
However,
they put if they put too many boundaries on there, they're going to lose a lot of people because, like I said, a lot of what drives the game industry is what we see or what we talk about, and if we can't see or talk about it with actually being able to show it off, then they're going to lose a lot of people.
well, let me just put it this way. Animated brought up music, and he said he understand that music is a form of art. He said pictures it should be, but pictures are a form of art. Games are a form of art. So if the artist who streams and you're not technically not allowed to share that either,
Right.
um, and if an artist has to, or I won't even say the artist because it's really whoever's the record owner who's coming after you. But point I'm making is if they can make claims to get some sort of, uh, you know, monetary, you know, something back they feel like they lost. What's the difference between that and streaming games? Isn't that the same ideology? Because you're basically playing their art that they created for you to enjoy according to the agreement that you sign. Because there's always a user agreement whenever you start up a game and you
You,
agree to it.
you know what the difference is with music and with games? With music, there's other sources you can go to, so anybody can listen to it, be it the radio, satellite radio, um, any of the online services that you can actually listen to the
But
song.
and that's why I'm
So
asking that question is
without
because
with games, that's not going to be that unless you buy it. There's no you can't turn on your radio and watch somebody play a game. You can't you can't. There's
well,
no open access
so I
to
don't
it.
and I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just saying it's not just streaming. I think the patent also says you can't share. It could be
Right.
content that is pre-recorded.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
It doesn't
it's
want you to. Yeah. It doesn't want it out there in any way, shape, or form. It seems like
right.
for
So
certain
what if
aspects
it
of it.
is? What if it is a part of the service they're trying to build?
Well, I wouldn't get into it, but that's just me. But
Yep,
but
I'm just trying to
let's
get you
I
guys
know.
see what I'm
I'm
saying.
just saying, if they're
let,
not
let's
careful,
think a little though.
they're gonna limit it so much that everybody's gonna say, "Screw it." We're done. You know.
Let's think a little though. Isn't the whole medium of gaming, and I've noticed we've got to go to Clown soon because he's been so quiet for so long.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Isn't the medium of games is the whole point of if you share a game with somebody, they're gonna go, "Fuck, I want to buy that game." Isn't that the whole purpose? Guess what? This game's brilliant. Have a look. Take a look at this because that's what gets me into games. A
Yeah.
guy says to me, "I played this the other day." I tell you what I did. A friend of mine says to me the other day, "Oh, have you seen this? I was playing Battlefield the other day on PC. Check a look at these kills." And he recorded it on YouTube. He shared it with me, and I'm thinking, man, I so want to get back into Battlefield. I haven't, but that's not the point. Isn't that going against the exact medium we're in right now? Because That's what gets popularity within games. It does. You can't
Yeah.
compare it to music. You can't compare it to
Well,
films. You
I'm
can't
not.
compare it to
I'm not. I
all.
was just
No.
asking
I know.
a
I'm just saying.
hypothetical question.
The
Look, I'm
Elden
getting
Ring
all.
the
I'm getting all animated.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good. You should.
The
It's
Elden Ring word of mouth wouldn't have worked so well if they couldn't show any footage or show any
exactly.
pictures or showing.
That's
Yeah.
that's the point.
But that's a
That
third
five
party
minute clip.
publisher, and that's not a first
Yeah.
party.
But no, but I'm saying if this company does that to their own stuff, they're gonna basically they're cutting off the nose to spite their face. You
Here,
know.
Yeah, I agree.
let me
Completely
just tell you.
agree.
Let me give you a little. I'm not giving you a history lesson, Paul. I already know you know all this. But this, but
Paul
Sony
knows all the
has
history. He was there.
Sony is a music company too, and they
Yeah.
put what we call
DRM,
metadata.
the little
No, no, wait, wait,
just
wait. Let me finish it. In the back in the day, they put malware on CDs. So when
2004,
you on their
2005.
music CDs, so when you put it in your computer, it wrecked your machine to the point where the president, I think it was Bush at the time, had to, sued Sony to get that crap off of people and stop doing it. That was a real thing. So it's not their first time of
Hmm.
slipping things up under the rug and trying to control what you can and can't do. Um, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Speaking of that, wasn't there? There's an article because in Brazil they publish everything publicly about you know uh, Sony's attitude towards uh, Microsoft's acquisition of Blizzard Activision. But more importantly, in that same article, if you go down the list, it also states about how Sony is requiring publishers not to put their games on Game Pass and to tell them how much Microsoft offered them to put it on Game Pass. And people are dubbing it blocker rights. And this is the same type of mentality and behavior. So my question is on that, uh, is that capitalism? Is that fair game? Or should people be outright outrageous and be upset that because ultimately it could be hurting the gamer in the end, not anyone else. Like, you know, Sony and Microsoft would be a company forever, right? They make lots of money. But for us as consumers, what does that do for us? Paul?
I'm sorry. I'm just noticing that the entire chat all night is basically circled around me. Okay.
Hey, listen, pineapple, poppy seeds, spice, candy corn, Canadian bacon, pumpkin syrup, and a Belgium.
Yeah.
Oh, could you tell me what's your thoughts on that? Um, and
I
if
just
you're not sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I've made no secret that I don't trust them. I haven't trusted them, especially since like 2004 when all that stuff went down. Yeah, 2005. Um, and I think this is just another step. I honestly don't think it's going to go anywhere. Even if they do get the patent, I don't think they will be allowed to do anything with it. I think they're going to have issues with fair use. They're going to be stepping all over laws, and there's going to be a lot of companies like YouTube and companies like they're all going to probably get involved and go because now you're stepping on what we do. So
You want me to read the actual insert? It's crazy. It's not just Game Pass, by the way. It says
yeah,
during the term, publishers shall not authorize, assist, or encourage any third party to include the game in any competitive platform subscription service that is competitive with any PS subscription service, including not limited to Google Stadia Pro subscriptions at
yeah,
Microsoft's Xbox Live Gold, Project X Cloud, or Game Pass subscription service, or any similar competitive platform service.
yeah. You know, I see. I wonder if like Game Pass has those same things that it cannot be on another streaming service for X amount of time when it first hits Game Pass or whatever. I don't know. That just because it's being made notice here doesn't mean that there isn't some wording like that in the Game Pass contracts or in the Stadia contracts. Stadia, whatever. But you know what I mean. I mean it makes sense to a point to where if you're gonna drop it on our service, for a period of time, just like we already have, we already have the limited exclusivity things that go on with every game. Pretty much. You know,
Well, and honestly, I'm kind of sick and tired of that. But
yeah. Well,
it's but at the end of the day, I mean, what is this is kind of going into this same mentality with this patent, right?
well,
You know,
and if it's true that they're actually paying companies to purposely not go on Game Pass, even though they're not on Sony platforms, that's a different story.
well that
That's a whole different step.
yes,
That's
because the clause does not require them to publish on. They just said if you want to
right.
publish on, you got to do this.
Yeah,
If you want us to license your game on our platform, that's what it reads. You got to follow
yeah,
these terms.
yeah. See, that's where it comes.
Or and if you decline, then you
Yeah.
got to wait 60 days before we will license your game on our platform.
I know a few game companies that would look at them and go, okay, we'll go on the Game Pass for 60 days before we hit Sony and watch what happens. Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there. So,
yeah. Nobody
you know,
wants to see my chicken and waffle. Okay, I'm just.
hey, we want to see that bacon though. Hey,
Yeah.
animated. What's your thought on that?
I'm going to say let's go to clowns because we've not heard clowns for quite a while now. So
Oh, no,
let's go
I'm
to
hearing him in the
clowns.
chat, but I just wanted to make sure I get you. He's over there.
So let,
I'll
let's
I'll
let's
go.
let's.
I'll go to clowns. Clowns.
Oh, I do like
What
the
you?
Johnny Bravo comment in chat. I want to put that up there where everybody can see it. Yeah, that he does
No,
have hair like Johnny
no,
Bravo. Yeah.
don't do it, PK. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Is Johnny Bravo?
Um,
Wait, is Johnny Bravo Italian?
I'm not
The
sure.
way he looks and sounds, it could be. It's definitely East Coast. Yeah.
We we got we got to make
He's
sure it's the
definitely
right.
smooth enough. He's definitely smooth enough to
We
be
got to
Italian.
make sure
Let's
it's
be
the
honest.
right parody, Paul. So
Yeah.
you can go research and see if he's Italian. Then we do it.
Um,
Go ahead.
wow, listen, PK. So I think you are on the subject of Sony's contracts with certain developers, blocking them from Game Pass. Which I mean, there's not a lot I can say about it. I just it's business practice. It's what companies do, and as much as Sony has done it, it really hasn't. I would say that it hasn't really hurt the competition at all. I mean, they find ways to get other stuff right on their consoles, and they do just fine. It may and a lot of those exclusivities are just timed anyway. So something might not come on Game Pass, or something might not go to the Switch, or you might have to wait 6 months or a year, whatever it is. But I mean, everybody still gets to play the multiplayer games at the end of the day, whether it's in Game Pass or you purchase it separately or you get it on the Switch or you play it on the PC. So I don't think that it's as big of a deal as people think it is. I
Well, I guess
think
my question is, and I'm sorry, Kenya. My question is, does that align with the patent idea? Do
does
you
it
think
align
that
with the patent idea?
because my original thought was they're building a service to be a competitor to those, and maybe they're trying to create this patent to block out sharing outside of their service. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, right? Like, I could see that Sony may be going that route. Uh, it's just another way of them to say, if you want the full experience, you must play it on the PlayStation. Or you want the full experience, the only guides you can see can come from officially PlayStation on the PS5 or something like that. So that's just another way for Sony to market themselves and make a business move. I don't think it's a fair business move if this thing becomes effective and actually takes place, because it's going to impede on fair use, and there'll be arguments for the fair use for at least reviewers and people streaming, etc. It will be challenged. And
By the way, it's important for people to remember that patents or trademarks, lots of them get filed and made that never get used.
yeah,
Lots of them, especially for technology, they're put in place to hold certain things in like a placeholder, but they're never advanced upon or actually used or created.
Paul has like 10 of them. Just FYI.
yeah.
Well, no, that's. I mean, that's kind of why I'm asking a question. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. And um, animated your thoughts there, bro. You have a couple other before we because I wanted to
Yeah,
answer there. Dreadpool says Bravo is Italian word.
So yeah, there you
And
go.
So
Johnny Bravo liked Elvis Presley as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
we're gonna
there we
find
go.
out.
There we go. Elvis
I
without a
can't
beard.
shake my
Elvis
hips like
without a beard
Elvis
could be
though.
Carlo, right?
I don't
Shave the
know.
beard off.
At this
You've got
point,
the
Carlo,
whole
if you tried to shake your
dress
hips
going
like
on.
that, you'd break your hips like that. Okay, just you'd hear a snap sound.
Oh
That,
wow!
that's
You know,
that's
Pa, I'm a little bit younger than you, buddy, so
you
don't
know
worry
what
about
you
it.
know what Paul is a savage boy. He
He
don't let.
is savage.
Oh
That's right.
my
He's
lord.
pineapple, pop seed, spice, candy corn, Canadian
Yeah,
bacon,
Hey,
pumpkin pie, whipped
don't forget,
cream, cheesecake,
don't
Paul.
don't
yeah.
forget, Carlo. You're younger than me as well, I believe. So don't you worry about it. It's fine. I'm just a beautiful boy. Anyway, back to the question.
Yeah,
um,
you're both younger than me, and who's got all the hair? That's right, bitches.
back to the question. Okay, I'm just doing this to Paul. No, it's a it's a loaded question really because it, in my opinion, it's an underhanded deal what they're doing, saying, "Oh, guess what? You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do the other," and then going with, "Well, it's not fair that Microsoft have got Activision. Please help." That's where it's come from, right? It's all about this Call of Duty thing. I believe that they want Call of Duty to be able to play on and stuff like that. This is where the conversations come from, right, PK?
Well,
Am I
I'm
right?
really brought it up because in my mind, that's remember earlier I asked on PS5 they had that feature when you play a game you can access guides, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking this patent, the idea of trying to restrict competitive services is to drive people to whatever they're trying to build out, like their new
Yeah,
launcher and things like
absolutely,
that.
absolutely. Yeah, but
So
it's all from this whole conversation where we've seen this Brazilian converted thing saying, "Oh, PlayStation are doing this and they're trying to buy this and trying to buy that." We all thought this was bullshit, and everyone on this channel thought when the Resi game come out and said it's not gonna, PlayStation haven't paid for content, no chance. They're never gonna do that. Come on, let's be honest. We all said that, and guess what? Yes, they did, and there's a reason why the Final Fantasy remake has not come onto Xbox. Guess what? There's a contract in the background there that says you will never release this to Xbox slash Game Pass or wherever you're going to go. There's a contract there. Because now we know these things exist. That's what they're trying to do unhandedly because they've got no answer to the roadmap Xbox are on. Because let's be honest, the roadmap Xbox are on are making just moves, right? So what's PlayStation got?
well,
Other than saying I'm gonna buy this. No, I'm gonna buy this game, right? You cannot put this onto a competitive platform for this amount of years. We've all known the exclusivity deals, but to see it in detail is eye-opening. Really, I never thought it
that's
was that bad.
But see, this is different than the exclusivity deal. This is you can have it on the other platform, but you can't have it on their streaming service. That's a
Mm,
little, that's
so
almost that.
that's why I
yeah, but
think they're gonna have their own streaming
that's
service.
Yeah.
that's all that's all fine and well. However, if you read between the lines, when you go with you can put it on streaming service. However, we have to offer you our streaming services first, and then it's a case of you can't put it on the other platform, blah blah blah. It does smack a little bit like that to me. Like,
Well, what's
look,
funny to me,
you've
what's
you've got
funny is
you've got 12 you've
if you
got
do
12
go, if
months.
you do go, what's funny is if
Yeah,
you
go
do
on.
go to another streaming service, you can't put it on ours for 60 days. You know what? I would almost go, okay, 60 days, that's fine. I'll go over
No,
to Game Pass where there's I'll go to
but
Game Pass where
but
there's
the
100 million subscribers, and 60 days later I'll come and put it on your streaming service. I'm
there's
not going to
lines
break
in
a sweat. I'm not going to break a sweat about that. Yeah.
okay, Paul, but there's lines in that document where it says you may not approach a competitor unless we agree first, and that kind of
But it
it's
says
really
if
really
you
weird.
do, but it says if
Yeah,
you do, we won't put you on ours. So you could say, fine, we do. We're going over here
yeah, but
first. We'll see you in 60 days.
it's a
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here and say
we haven't
I'm
seen the full. Go on. I
no
was
no
going to say,
I just
PK,
want to say
before
go
you
ahead.
go, we haven't seen the full document, right? And we don't know.
Well, no, their full
Down
document
the
is
bottom of
public.
No, it's
It's public. You can read the whole thing.
they may be punitive issues with the contract to say, oh, you've gone to a competitor, now you've got to lose this much money. We don't know about the punitive issues. We don't. I'm sure, but still, PK. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm jumping in here. I love the banter back and forth. You guys got good energy. But we can't do this all night, so we got to move on. And
We
what I
got
want to do is
we
close
definitely
out.
have one topic that we have to say before we get out of here because it's on
Yeah,
the thumbnail, and if we don't say it,
yeah.
people are gonna be like, "You didn't
No,
talk about it."
we that's
we're going to
that's
talk
what
about the love chat. Oh no, that's
that's what I wanted to get to. Um, so the last topic of the day, and at the end of the day, it's like you guys are good. I always like working with you guys. I love hearing the back and forth, especially with Paul. He's always our what is it? Our rock, our soul. That's our legacy right there. But last thing is we're gonna talk about this Avengers. So the question in the poll is anyone playing Avengers still? Yes, no, maybe. You don't have to answer me right away, but you
yeah.
can answer the poll. And the reason why we brought this up because there's new characters coming, and uh, me personally, I still got one achievement left in that game. I just haven't got a chance. So I admit I haven't been playing it actively or anything because I'm not gonna say I'm like animated and I'm just too bougie to play it, but I'll just say I just haven't got around to it. Um, but I want because I think Clowns was more excited about the new character, so I wanted to give Clowns the space and opportunity to please entertain our people about what is it that you're excited to talk about at Marvel's Avengers.
Yes, so Marvel's Avengers is coming out with a new character because the game has been doing very good since it's gone free to play in the subscription services of Game Pass and the PlayStation Premium Plus, whatever it's called nowadays. It's doing better. It's picking up steam. People are playing it. People are having fun. And they're bringing the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes, to the game. That is exciting, my friends, because the Winter Soldier is a very popular character right now. It's very hot, so it's fantastic. And they're planning on bringing some other new stuff as well, such as a cloning lab kind of like environment DLC. They didn't really go into details, but I imagine different levels based on cloning labs or missions. So that is pretty cool. I'm very excited for this. I can't wait to play it. You know what, though? She-Hulk, Jay? I don't know. I thought we were getting She-Hulk. That Yobi's been swearing by that forever. So I hope we're getting
She
a
coming.
She-Hulk.
She coming.
Yeah, so other than that, honestly, this is a hot topic right now in case you guys don't know this. Miles Morales is blowing up everywhere. He's huge. Okay, he is huge because they're doing some new stuff in the comics with him and Peter Parker and a Latin cover as well with Miles Morales. So I just want to say that I really wish there was a Miles Morales character in Marvel's Avengers. I know it would probably not come to Xbox, but I still hope it's something that we get to see. And it'd be nice if it was allowed on Xbox. It really would be, because Miles Morales is a fantastic character and it unites the fandom of Spider-Man. I just wanted to throw it in there with the Bucky Barnes reveal as well. So I hope to see everybody playing Marvel's Avengers. It's such a great game. I love that game. You know, it may have not crossed the 10 million players as quickly as Multiverses, but dear to my heart, it is higher up there.
Well, now that he came down off his soapbox, hey, anybody else still play Avengers Panel? You guys still played it or played it at
I,
all?
I go back to it every once in a while, but yeah,
Koopa says just because of that, he hopes it doesn't happen. He's
I think they did miss an opportunity with launching She-Hulk today. I mean, they really should have, launched in conjunction with the series. But
I felt that way about Black Panther when the movie dropped and they didn't have it ready.
yeah,
But with that being said, me, I still only play characters that I want to play as. I'm not interested in playing Winter Soldier. However, that doesn't mean I'm not excited for expansion of content. I always welcome that because that brings more things to do. Um, so yeah, I'm will boot up Avengers anyway because I got one achievement left for 1,000 at mug, so I will be playing it. I own it, so it's just what's cool is I can play it on PC or Xbox, and my game saves. It's a play anywhere game, so that's dope. So it's all.
He doesn't sound
I'll,
excited, guys. He does
no, no.
not sound
Let me
excited.
let me just say this: Marvel's Avengers is way better shape than Anthem right now. But no, me personally, um, the game when it launched, and I had it since launch, um, was in bad shape. It's way better now. So if you guys were skeptical, I mean, they made sure that you have many ways to give it a shot. They got free to play weekends, they got Game Pass, they got demos, they got all kinds of stuff. So I would definitely recommend giving it a shot, especially if you're a fan of the Avengers itself. If you've been watching the show, they're not the characters are not a one for one of the movies and television show. However, the spirit of them definitely lives on in the game. So those guys did uh, ensure that the connection and the spirit of the character still lives on. So I understand there's a lot of Spider-Man fans out there that might be disappointed on Xbox. I get that. Hey, you never know. The creation mode might even make you create your own Spider-Man. There you go. Um,
Do you know what? Before you go on, PK, I think it's a little too late because there's been no DLC for so long that I'm not actually interested anymore. I do like to play it now and again, and I play it with my kids now and again. I think it's just too little, too late because who's playing it? Not a lot of
I
people.
mean, there's still people playing it. I mean, if they weren't making money, they wouldn't do this. So they still got a fan base. Um, you know, and I understand how you feel. I mean, I'm not disregarding that. I understand that completely. But me, I'll still pop it in. It's just, I take breaks. I mean, you gotta understand some games as a service or games like that. Sometimes you just take a break and you just go back whenever they fill up on stuff. You
The,
know.
the thing is, though, I'm going to say though that the game feels better if you're dedicated to it. If you've spent a lot of hours into this game, you rank up, you do better, you get better equipment. It feels better, right? If you get bored of this game early on, and then you sort of jump back in, jump back out, jump back in, it doesn't feel as good as what you would if you committed. That was my issue with the game. I loved it. I really did love it. And
Yeah.
but
I mean,
if I jumped in now with a couple of friends who've never played it for months, I'd be like, ugh, really? Ugh. It doesn't matter who they add to the roster, I'm still gonna think, it's same old, same old.
And I
Um,
get that. I get that. I mean, the thing is, it's a fan base game, right?
Yeah, some of
yeah,
us jump
It,
in and
it's
out based on the characters they
it's
release.
it's it's
I want
it's
to see
it's
what they
about a
did with
fan.
that character.
Honestly, their best thing is fan service,
Yeah,
right? Fan service is what keeps people interested because you got people who are more into Avengers. Like you might not be, a super heavy Avengers. I mean, you might like it, but you could deal
yeah,
without it. You get what I'm saying?
yep,
Whereas they're
absolutely.
hardcore. I love this content kind of thing,
yep.
and just to bring that up, um, I would say that there's lots of new games coming out this fall, man. We got tons of great stuff still left to do in this year. Um, what the speaking of Embracer, Saints Row comes out next week. We got um uh, the first Atlas game coming to Xbox, Soul Hackers 2. Um,
Absolutely.
you know, more reveals because of Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show coming up, and Sonic Frontiers is one of my personal most anticipated games of the year. Doesn't have release date, but we just know it's coming. Um, and all I'm saying is think about that. I'm a huge Sonic fan. A lot of people can live without him. I can't. I'm wearing blue now. My background's blue. I'm a blue dude. Like that's my game. That's my go-to. Me and Jay, uh, Mr. Graphic Guy, we're Sonic fans through and through.
And you
But
know what? Graphic God just said he's just finished Kate Bishop's campaign. Wait till you get to Hawkeye. You will love him better, dude. Seriously.
Yes, but it can be
Yeah,
frustrating finding the secret
Hawkeye
caves.
is the bitch. He is really. Hawkeye is the amazing guy. Hawkeye's my guy in
you
Marvel
see, you
Avengers.
see how you just
Yeah,
associate yourself
absolutely,
with that. So like
absolutely.
Black Panther is my guy, and I felt like that was the best DLC.
Oh,
So
the story DLC was absolutely fantastic.
yeah, so I
However, what I was saying was, it's been so long ago. It's been months and months and months since we've had any really proper DLC in that game. How many people like me and you are thinking, I really want to go back into that because there's some more DLC because
I
no one's
mean
going to because it's been so long.
I
It
don't
was
know.
right.
No, no, that I don't think that's true. I think if they get a character in there that people are interested in, they're going to go back. You
I
know,
think
they,
I kind of agree with Paul. I kind of agree with Paul. So
yeah,
using
yeah, okay.
multiverses as an example, that's not your kind of game. You said this multiple times. Yet this
Wait a minute.
game,
Hold on. How did we get from Marvel's Avengers to multiverses and Sonic? I'm
I'm using
lost.
it. I'm using it as I know.
quiet, Johnny Bravo. We're talking. The big people are talking.
I'm using it as an example. So I'm kind of agreeing with Paul's uh, point here. Is if they bring out a character, like I said, there's hardcore fans that just love Avengers, and I was using multiverses for example.
Okay.
Multiverses does not appeal to you. However, there are
No.
characters in that game that people adore. That's what
Okay.
attracted them to this game, and that's why
Okay.
that game blew up out of nowhere. And that's kind of what Paul is alluding to. Is all it takes is one character. Let's just pretend this Spider-Man crap is exclusive for a time, and then all of a sudden it comes on Xbox and PC, and not just Xbox and PC. That may
Never
change.
gonna happen. We've discussed it.
I'm just
It's big,
saying.
No,
It's
but
just
if it did, but if it
this is
big
did,
if.
hypothetical.
Big if. Big if. Okay, go. Let's go.
It may change a lot of people's attitude towards giving it a shot because they
Yeah,
will
yeah.
feel like they're included because Spider-Man is their favorite character. It's not mine, but
Yeah,
it's probably
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
theirs.
I kind of agree. Yes.
and they would want to see the story that they built into the game around that character.
I'm not saying that
Yeah,
that's a game changer. I'm saying I'm making it up,
yeah.
saying you know
But
it's definitely possible.
But
okay,
with each new character they add, that happens to a certain level, I think. And some characters are higher level than others. You know,
But I also
like
understand,
with the She-Hulk show dropping, if it does well, people are going to get interested in that character.
right? And like you mentioned before, it's a missed opportunity to drop
Yeah,
her during that, um, for the show to come out and have the
yeah,
character same time. That would have been great opportunity for them. However, I understand animated's point of view too, right? I get you,
I'm gonna
but
I'm gonna
again, that's what makes us different when it comes to these games. Some games you really gravitate to, and some of them you're just meeting lukewarm, and that's okay.
okay.
And
Let's pretend PK next week launching next week. Ant-Man is coming to the Avengers universe, right? Let's
yeah,
pretend he's launching, right?
okay.
Yeah, let's pretend. It'd be cool, right? It'd be cool to play him. Where's the advertising? Where's people telling us that they're updating this game?
I mean,
Good
they're
point.
dude, they're
Very
getting
fair
sold off to
point.
Embracer Group. They're getting sold off to Embracer Group. I
It
don't
doesn't
think they
matter.
have the marketing.
No, but dude, even if they fucking surfaced Batman into the game, where's the marketing to get
But
this
see,
game back
see,
into the conscious
but that's
average
that
player?
what you just brought up.
Where is
You
it?
do stuff like
Batman,
that, and word of mouth plays into it, dude. Word of mouth
Batman and
plays
Yeah,
into it
but
big time.
Spider-Man,
Yeah,
Batman and Spider-Man names alone carry weight.
yeah.
Okay, those two are the largest
well,
names, and if you put them in anything, people are paying attention.
That's fine. That's fine. But I didn't know anything was getting updated into
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah.
I
No,
didn't know.
I just found
Where's
out
the
too.
advertising that Marvel's
So
been updated?
I'm gonna sit
Clowns
here
go.
and agree. I agree with my mate, my bloody right
Oh, don't
mate,
get started. Don't get
animated
him.
evil.
Don't stop.
I agree with him because you know what though, there should be more marketing on this. There should be more things that say, "Hey, we are Marvel's Avengers and we are releasing the Winter
Uh,
Soldier or whatever
I've
their
seen
plan
I've
is."
seen stuff on my dashboard. I've seen stuff on my
No,
dashboard.
I get
I've
that,
never
Paul,
seen
No,
but
it.
he's talking about YouTube videos and
I mean,
ad
like,
revenue
you're
and stuff
watching
like that.
TV, and all of a sudden, instead of like, the Call of Duty chopper landing down and somebody with the PlayStation controller walking through and saying, "Hey, I'm playing on PlayStation. You can be whatever you want." They should do a Marvels thing where Hulk smashes down, and then it's like, and the Winter Soldier appears out of the rubble, with Captain America or something. He's just standing there, and he's like, next on Marvel's Avengers. Like they could do stuff like that, right? They can advertise on TikTok. I'm sure it's not as expensive as other platforms. They can advertise on Hulu. It's Disney's own platform. They can advertise on different things. I mean, there should be some sort of advertisement. You know, there should be. And shout out to Yobi. Thank you for the 14-month support, brother. It's appreciated. And he said they've already started development on the next two characters as well. So there should be some advertisement. I love Marvel's Avengers. It's one of my favorite games. And I understand Animated Evil's point exactly 100%. And this is why people get lost with the game, is because there's no cohesive message to say, here's what we are doing right now. Here's what's going to come out in the future. Sure, the devs talk about it on Twitter, and I'm not saying that they don't. But where is the corporate messaging, the big advertisement? Do you see it on
Well,
IGN?
this wouldn't be the time of year for that big advertisement. This absolutely would not be the time of year for them to input that money.
Or maybe they could pay for an ad and sites like IGN or GameSpot and be like, here's our development plan. Winter Soldier now, She-Hulk in the future. I mean, they got to spend money to make money. They're making money in the cosmetics now that the game has gone free to play and subscription services. So they could use some of that to recoup marketing, I would think. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I am not a marketer for a game company. I don't know what it takes. It's just as a consumer, the message is not clear.
Well, and like I just said, if you want to see any of that, it's probably going to be around holiday season and stuff when stuff is getting pushed. You know,
Just like when we
that's
see pumpkin pie.
that's not an it's not an all year messaging thing because they don't want to put that kind of money out there. They're trying to make money, not you know.
I
Part
I
of it is
think
Yeah,
also
but
I think they lost their support when Square said that they didn't believe in them.
yeah.
where
Well,
have
and they
where
remember
have
they
you
had a rocky
seen
launch too because it was launched on it had a not so stellar launch either. A lot of people got
even
turned
at,
off at launch.
even as gaming sort of aficionados like we are, where have you seen the advertising for people like us to say,
I've seen stuff on YouTube.
um,
I've seen stuff
guess
on YouTube throughout the
guess
year.
what? Guess what? We're updating this shit. I've not seen it.
Okay, so you're one
I have never
person.
seen it.
See,
I
you're
am one. I am one. Agreed. Agreed. But how many one
you
persons
you
are there
you
like
you
me?
you you I and this isn't a slam against you, but you tend to always
Absolutely.
think into I was talking to my two kids and they said this. I was talking well, I
No,
didn't
no, no,
see
no, no.
this.
No,
And a
Paul.
lot of it
No.
goes
That's
no, and no, I'm just
that's
saying
never the
a lot of
attitude.
it
No,
goes beyond that. A
no.
lot of it,
That's
it depends on
that's
how much you've been busy a lot lately. I've seen advertisements for Avengers on YouTube. Maybe not recently, but within the last 6 months, I've seen,
Well,
Paul.
I tell
Paul.
you what. Let me jump in here and comment. All right, I can 100% agree that the marketing for Avengers is nowhere near the marketing for Final Fantasy or all
right.
the other. Let's just be real. Square did not market any of their Western style games the way they do their Japanese games. Period. Let's be
No,
real.
because Square's a bunch of, we already know
We're,
that they're a bunch
I'm,
of,
I'm I'm just saying we we can all agree that they shifted their money towards what they wanted to do and what they felt was priority, even though Final Fantasy does not ship that many units itself, right? As much as I played them all, I'm telling you 16 will still not ship that many units. It's not a
no,
console
and
seller. It's not a
and
game
personally,
seller.
as much YouTube and stuff I watch, I haven't seen that much in the way of Final Fantasy advertising either.
Oh, you see it all the time, but
ah,
it's not.
maybe
It's
maybe
the
maybe you're not been looking at the right YouTube channels then.
Yeah,
Really,
it's there
like
all the
you said
time.
to me about last in a minute ago.
Yeah,
Well,
it's.
can't, okay.
I mean, the thing is
Just
that.
throwing out there, Paul. I know how
But
you can try.
can't you say the same thing about you not seeing the Avengers stuff? Maybe you're not looking at things.
Exactly. That's what I've just said. That's
I
exactly what
mean,
you
I
said.
mean,
You haven't
I
seen it. You haven't
you
seen it. It's
guys, you
fine.
guys, you guys are both right. Okay, algorithm controls what you see. All right,
Right.
what you like will be in your face. All right. At the end of the day, that's how it
Yes.
works. But they did. But the facts is the actual facts, not our opinion, is that Square did not get behind any of their Western style games like they did their Japanese games. And their Japanese games still did not perform as well as any other game that they put out. So it really didn't matter. At the end of the day, you're right. There wasn't enough. The Western style games did not get a lot of attention. Even Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember this. Now I'm gonna tell you guys. I know nobody remember this. And I know uh, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy is still not my favorite game. All right. I think it's good, but you know, that's it. However, when they first showed that game, it was on the Switch, on the Nintendo Direct, and it did not look good. That was a horrible advertisement for that game because we could not get to see it at the ability of how well it can look and perform on one of the modern consoles or PC because the Switch can't do
Right.
high end graphics. So that advertisement kind of dampered my excitement for this game.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what
Well, and
I
interesting about that is they had a really bad launch. I mean, a slow launch, I should say.
well
And then it
that's
was
but
word of mouth that got that game
but
going.
that's
It
but
was
that's what contribute to the slow start is not getting behind it in the first place. Think
Hmm.
about it.
Well, part of it too was coming off of a rocky launch of Avengers. A
Wait a
lot
minute.
of people, including me, were going, "I don't trust this company
Wait a
because of
minute.
what we just saw them release."
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Paul, but listen here, hear me out. Outriders was a brand new IP from Square, right? It
Yep.
launched on Game Pass. They still did not put the advertisement out there for this game or
No,
get
they
behind
did.
it.
They did. They did.
They
They did
they
Yeah,
had the
advertise
advertisement, but
early.
it was nowhere near
No.
the amount that
Well,
they do any of their Japanese titles.
give me.
There's no way you can. I'm telling you, they did not put
no,
that kind of energy
Give me
behind
a
it.
sec. Give me a
but
sec, PK. Give me a sec.
the hype leading up to the Outriders
Yep.
was
Give
out
me a
there though. The
sec.
hype was big.
Give me a sec.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Animated.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say exactly the same thing Paul is gonna say. They Xbox did promote this game, saying this is
yeah,
what's coming. This is what's
Microsoft
coming. It's coming to
because it was on
Microsoft. Yeah,
Game Pass,
because
but not
this is what's
Square.
coming. Right? Okay. Right. Until it was around about launch time, they decided, marketing's gonna go.
They dropped that game like a bad habit.
No, no more marketing. And we all thought, Paul himself, I'm sure Clowns did, I'm sure you did, we all thought, do you know what? We've not seen anything from that game for a while. I wonder why. It launched and it was fucking broken.
All I'm saying
Unfortunately.
is
And that's what that they did. They did just go, nope, no more marketing, we're done. That's exactly what they did.
they don't. All I'm saying is if they put the same energy behind their Japanese titles,
Yeah, I
you
know.
know, uh, that's where Avengers would have been better off if they, because there was a lot of crunch time stuff going on, all kinds of little crazy stuff about the devs and what pressure they was under, and all I'm saying is to answer the question, I do believe that if they put any character can definitely change the game or turn it around for his player
Yeah,
base.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
You're
Not
right.
just character, but specifically characters that are resonating with the masses, and we all have niche things that we love, but the masses is the general public, and that's why I said if you put Batman in there, yeah, it's gonna get everybody's attention because it's Batman. His name carries weight. It doesn't matter what you put it in. Spider Man, the same way. You put Spider Man on anything,
Mm-hmm.
it carries
Yeah, yeah,
weight.
you're right. Yeah, yep, you're right.
It's just they are the Mickey Mouses of the game. Speaking of, you put Mickey Mouse in there, it carry weight. That's all I'm saying. Um, but I'm not taking away from your point of view though. I agree that if you like it for the gameplay and you're not really in love with the characters and all that stuff, you're not into the lore, dude. So I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying you're like one of the masses that they need to appeal to. That's what I'm getting at.
Makes sense.
Well, on that note, PK, we're
Yep.
almost at the 2 hour mark, buddy.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We have
Wow.
went on and beat this up. Yo, it was a good
Paul's,
conversation.
it's Paul's fault, not mine.
Hey, look, hey, listen, it's all our fault, man. We just got some good chemistry here. Let me tell you, I did enjoy the conversation. Um, so let's go ahead and close out, guys. We had a good time, and while we're closing out, I want everybody to tell me your most anticipated game for the rest of the year. All right, everybody ready? Paul, take your finger
No,
down.
no,
Take your finger down. You ready? You ready, man? You the
no, because
streamer. Both of y'all streamers.
all my games have been delayed, so no.
I it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're gonna say what it is. One game. That's it. That's all you get.
One game.
We're gonna start. We see Paul want me to say he want to savor. He's thinking. So I'm gonna start with animated because it seemed like it'd be easier. Animated. Where can they find you, bro? Where can they find you and what you be up to? And what is your most anticipated game for the rest of the year?
Well, I'm going to disappoint you with My most anticipated game of the year was going to be the Hogwarts Legacy. However, it's been delayed. That was going to be my
It's still a good
thing.
game.
So
It's still a good game.
it's
What's
been
Plan
delayed
B?
though. So it's not. Yeah, it's Plan B. What's Plan B? I don't know. That's it.
No other games. I just literally
No
said
other
we got a
games.
bunch of stuff. You just disappointed our viewers. Come on, man. It's
Um,
gotta be something.
dude, like I've said, if anyone needs to play the backlog, it's me, right? So then we're gonna play the backlog until we get a new game. There we go. But do you
Okay,
know
where
what?
can they find you, dude?
However, the best place to find me is on Twitter, animated underscore evil, and on here every Thursday.
Your schedule up
Job done.
On Twitch. Your schedule up on Twitch.
Um, at the moment, no, because I'm too busy. So I do have Twitch, YouTube, and other things going on. However, I'm far too busy at work, so I can't really commit. So, see
Well,
me on Twitter and here every week.
and everyone out there, just don't forget the challenge is the selfie yourself with Mr. Animated at the convention. Hey, anybody at 4GQTV, you catch us out in the open in the wild, you get us on a selfie, man. I'm giving out free game codes. So yeah, that is the challenge. Pokemon all day.
And I will buy in the next couple of days a shirt to say 4GQ TV. I have one already, but still, we'll uh, we'll do it. And if anyone needs a ticket to EGX, don't forget I have a ticket to EGX on the Saturday. Get me in the DM. I'll give you a ticket.
So Paul's talking to himself. Hey Paul, don't talk to yourself, man. Talk to the viewers, bro. Hey, listen, this is I
I said
love
it. Yeah.
I love working with Paul, man. He keeps me going, man. You don't understand.
Mm.
He's so funny work with here. Hey Paul,
Uh,
where can they find you and what is your most anticipated game?
I will say real
I
quick
had
that if
myself
anybody
muted.
that sees
Damn.
anybody who sees him at EGX is going to be grateful he bought a second shirt to wear because by the third day that first one's going to smell really bad. So, it's, yeah. So it is what it is, you know. You can find me, of course, on Twitter, it's Cerebral Paul One, Twitch and YouTube, it's Cerebral Paul. And on Mondays and Saturday, as a matter of fact, this Saturday, you can find me on the Xbox Ambassador channel. This Saturday, we're doing a 12-hour Fall Guys stream. I will be hosting for 3 of those hours from, I think, noon my time, noon Eastern, to 3 p.m. Eastern. I will be hosting for the Beanathon, as we're calling it. And I'm sure if we get enough people, even that aren't ambassadors, we'll have our own private lobbies. And mostly it'll be me watching everybody else play because I very seldom make it past the first round of whatever that game is. So I'm not
I
really good at that game. So there you go.
what you're good at the game, Paul. You
Oh,
just trying
Fall
to be
Guys? No,
modest.
no, Fall
Yeah,
Guys.
yeah, yeah, you are. You good with that game. What's your most anticipated game, man? What are you
My
waiting
most
on?
anticipated game, of course, is Starfield. But barring that it's not going to be out till next year, I will say that High on Life, which will be out December 13th
That's a
now
good
that it's been
choice.
delayed,
That's a
I am
good
looking
choice.
forward to High on Life a lot. So
I would challenge anybody to remember Paul's evolutionary name. Uh,
I won't remember my evolutionary name.
oh man, that's what's up, man. And definitely want to check out Paul. It's funny to watch him stream. I'm telling you, he is hilarious to watch. Definitely want to check that out. Even on the rewind, it's just funny.
Yep.
You could probably make
He
some
is
memes
one of
out
the
of
best.
some of
Yep.
his streams.
I'm
Um,
gonna nod. Yep.
100.
He's one of the best, dude. He really is.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
I talk to myself a lot because nobody watches my streams. But other than that, yeah.
so you see that's prelude to what's going to happen here. So
That's right.
make sure you got your drink next to you. Hey, but anyways, for sure, uh, clowns, man. Hey, you know, stop being busy for a minute. and
Well,
tell
I
the
was
people.
talking and I had myself muted and I was just saying Paul's fabulous name on
But
screen.
you can still say
Pineapple,
it.
poppy seeds, spiced candy corn, Canadian bacon, pumpkin pie,
Jeez.
whipped cream, cheese, cherry.
Wow.
Paul, let's go! Whoa, I
I can't
said
even
that in
see
less
all
than
of
a
that on
minute.
my screen. I can't even.
Hey,
Yes!
listen, that's what happens when you play Sir Whoop Ass. You just got something named after you in every language. Um, anyways, hey Clouds, where can they find you, and what is your most anticipated game rest of the year?
Most anticipated game, High on Life by the creators of Rick and Morty. It looks hysterical. Can't wait to play it on my Series X. And people can find me on 4GQ TV. Also, by the way, we just dropped an interview with Carl Moline, legendary comic book artist. He's worked with Josh Whedon. He's worked with Andy Sankowitz. I probably said that wrong. I
No,
say a lot.
what? Andy
Correct it.
Circus, you Andy
There you
Circus,
go.
you moron.
All
Andy
right,
Circus.
Pineapple Paul fixed it. Thank you, Pineapple Paul. Now go do your pumpkin pie eating contest. And also, we just interviewed the devs behind Sir Whoopass. Check out that video, as well as Jeepers did a review for the game. And now Paul is currently playing the game as
I
well.
will be.
It
I'm
is
gonna set up a stream here in a bit. So yes.
so check that
Nice.
out.
Yeah,
I can't join
Mitch.
now. I have to go to bed. I have to go
Yeah,
to bed. It's
yep.
bedtime.
Yep. So thank you.
Yes.
Mhm.
So thank you. So for me, definitely catch me here on 4GQ TV. We'll be back on the Dragon's Den once the mighty dragon, heals from his little wound here. Um, Pineapple Paul. I don't know if he has OnlyFans, but I would say my anticipated game is Sonic Frontiers. But I want to thank you guys, everyone in the chat, everyone in the viewers, everyone that checked this out. Thank you for the panel. We all had a great show. We have good fun, and we can't do this without you. I can't do this without my family here. Thank you, and you guys are awesome. If you got anything you want to add, please put it in the chat. Everything that you need from us should be linked in the chat for all our stuff. If it's not, we'll get that fixed. Um, Thank you guys. We're gonna head off here. We had a great show, and we'll see you next time.